Hey guys. Hello. Open league. My laptop may need to restart. But we'll be getting started soon with the first exercise. Hope you guys are doing well. If it's nighttime for you, hope you have had a good day, and I hope if it's morning, I hope you're having a good morning so far. Yeah, I'm gonna restart my laptop. My face cam is gonna disappear for a sec. League client keeps crashing, so shouldn't be long though. Just thinking out loud, I probably will be adding time for. I have 10 minutes now to like scheduled to set up the stream. Maybe I should have some time to start the actual game before the stream starts. Or sorry, after the stream starts, because I can start the stream before I start the practice game, you know? I'm excited to play Arc later. I'm feeling all right when it comes to doing the exercises. It does feel like it's going to be a lot of work, but we'll see. Yesterday it went by really, really fast and it was actually quite fun. Both the exercises were a little bit fun. It was gratifying to do them, but also engaging with chat. So we'll see how it goes today. All right. Oh, wait. I have the wrong camera set up. Here we go. Not that one. Hold on. There we go. We're in. All right. And then let me set up let me log into the games. I thought it was like 7 a.m. to be honest. It's 9 a.m. I was quite tired. 7 a.m. stream actually does kind of sound fun, kind of cozy. But yeah, we'll see how today goes. I think I'm more tired today. Maybe more fatigued is the better term. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not sure if it's just, I stayed up late and I meant to go to bed probably at 9. I ended up going to bed at 12, and I ended up eating a big meal right before bed, eating dinner before bed, and having some Doritos, which usually that tends to make my mind slower, more clogged up, like it's harder to think, but yeah, I don't know. It tends to coincide with when I take the Adderall, that I wake up the next day and feel like this. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but we'll see. We'll persist through the feeling, but we'll think about how I could potentially fix it. Maybe have some sort of boundaries and boundaries when it comes to streaming about the duration, so I make sure I have adequate time for rest. All right, so we're eating into the exercises a bit. We're eating into the first exercise about 5 minutes. So like I said, maybe I'll add some time into the schedule. We'll make the practice run about 10 minutes longer. Not today, but in the future, probably next week. I'll add time for the schedule to 10 minutes to log in and to set up the game itself, to load into the game and everything. Because this exercise does deserve some attention. 5 minutes is great, but I think 15 minutes is better. It does deserve the attention. I wonder why Riot changed blue wards so that now they disappear if they're spotted. I kind of liked that they were like infinite. Hey, what's up, Hanson? Hope you slept well and long. I didn't. I slept shorter than usually should, and there's, I don't know, not sure if it was so good, but thank you though. By the way, check Discord. New egg came through. I did. I like glanced at it, but I didn't respond because I was in a bit of a rush, and I wanted to give it more attention when I respond. Alright, well, welcome. It's early, or I guess, is it late for you? It's early for me. Alright, let's do... No worries, just wanted to make sure it works. Sure. Dinner time and you already ate? Gotcha. Okay. Alright, well, a simple exercise. Let's see, what time is it? So we've got 7 minutes, so we'll go until about 8 minutes on the clock in game. So I'm just trying to get the hook. To where the like right side of the hook, the helm or whatever it's called, that side ends up going straight through the blue ward. That's the goal. And ideally in one smooth motion I go between the wards. By the way, I also sent you a random clock indicator to give you random directions to hook. Okay. I'll check it out today. It might be during stream, it might be after stream, but I'll check it out today. That might be something I integrate in the future on different weeks, because that would add a little bit more challenge. Right now, I'm starting slow, I'm building the fundamental skill. There's a few things about the setup. I mean, maybe I won't talk about the setup too much. I won't even direct my energy, my attention towards it, because it's not something that I can change right now, so it's not worth my attention. But there are some things that could be optimized about the setup, like my left hand could have more room. But again, I can't change that like today or tomorrow or in the next couple weeks, so I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to think about what I can do. Try this with Rengar Ivern. People have said that. It does sound like fun. But man, the visual of just a Thresh Draven that's mechanically just perfectly in sync, that visual is very exciting to me. Alright, so I'm just getting a feel for the movement of my mouse and if I move my hand so much, it's gonna be result in my mouse moving how much. So I'm training my subconscious mind. I actually can't see this ward on my screen, by the way. So I'm looking at the Draven screen and kind of lining up my mouse on the Thresh, which is that in itself is a good exercise, looking at the Draven screen and throwing Thresh hooks. I'm not quite there yet, or I am there. Like, I was there before. I was practice that every single day, literally 30 minutes every single day with someone else. But what I'm saying is that, like, week 1, I'm not going to be exercising a skill that difficult seriously. But for sure in later weeks. I'm hoping that Valor would be interested in practicing again, because Valor was a viewer. He stopped watching once I started streaming so late because it was too late for him and he has work and stuff. But he was very, very dedicated to the practice. Like, he would literally take notes. He would literally create like a plan every single day. It was pretty crazy. And it was great practice. It was really, really good. And it was nice to have somebody who was as invested, and at times, you know, when I was tired, more invested than I was. It really felt like a team member, and it was maybe the first time in my life I actually felt something like that, and it was really, really cool. You know, actually putting two minds together that are really applying themselves and seeing what comes out. It's pretty, it's amazing, because it's way more than what you could do on your own. And I'm very used to doing things on my own. That Mac update fucked you hard. It did, but what's weird is that it happened like just before I started playing ranked. So everything I was doing in ranked, like even when I was popping off in the very beginning, that was with mouse acceleration. But yeah, it definitely did, because I can't train my subconscious to accurately know where the mouse is with the mouse acceleration. Only a little bit I can do that. So this is just for long term. I have a feeling that this is much better. I remember when I first turned mouse acceleration off, it was like all of a sudden, like, hooking was so much easier. Like, this was way back when I turned mouse acceleration off after like months of initial practice. It's actually pretty cool, because I'm nailing this ward. Even though I can't even see it on screen, I'm nailing it right down the middle. So that's pretty cool. Oh right, you guys can't even see what I'm doing here. And this exercise is really just about training mouse accuracy, precision, my mouse going exactly where I want it to go, and trying to do it in one smooth motion, not too much moving the mouse after I've already arrived at the ward. Because ultimately, you don't really have time to fix the precision of your mouse after you've already lined up the hook. So you want it to be right where it needs to be at the right time, and then you aim, and then you throw. Or sorry, you rather have already aimed, but then you throw. I need to aim a little bit further down on this one. There we go. Alright, so that's 8 minutes, which is the time allocated for this exercise, so we'll move on to the next one. Flay practice. Did you consider walking around with Thresh during this? Yeah. So the I could actually, if you're interested, I could actually show you. Like, I could send you or show you the schedule. Yeah. In some weeks, it naturally is gonna develop. Each exercise is gonna become more difficult week after week, and that is one of the things that. That's one of the developments. Like, another one is like catching axes on Draven while doing this. Like catching axes on Draven in lane while doing this. I see progressive difficulty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. So now my goal with this exercise, and we'll be doing this for 14 minutes. So that'd be 23 on the clock. I'm just trying to get the dummy to hop over the other dummies' heads. And even if I don't get it exactly, that's okay, because my subconscious mind, your subconscious mind learns a lot from failure. And so even if I don't quite get it over the top of the head, like right down the middle, my mind's going to learn, oh, okay, let me try moving my mouse a little bit this way instead. And what this is this is helping me learn Flame, which is, it's helping me learn some implicit things like actually like what the Flay will do and what to expect from it. But also, and it's another thing is it's teaching my mind that like where to move my mouse, and it's developing confidence so that I can move my mouse to Flay the way that I want, and I can do that accurately without looking at the thresh screen and while just playing Draven. And that confidence that reduces hesitation, that means I'll be doing it faster. The other thing is that by getting familiar with what the Flay is doing, it's going to be integrated in a different way when I'm making calculations, obviously, I mean subconsciously, about what type of play I want to, I can execute. You know? Like, instead of thinking of Flay as, oh, I can cancel Jack's Q, instead I'm thinking of it, oh, I can cancel Jack's Q and I can position him in this way which is further away from Draven, right? Or is kind of like I put him, I put me between him and Draven, so I'm body blocking him, you know? So I get a more detailed understanding. Or, oh, I can Flay the Jax Q, but if I do it properly, I can also Flay somebody else, you know? But I don't want to Flay him into Draven, right? But, and as the Flay practice progresses, like it may lead to Flaying like Rengar jumps and Flaying Pantheon Ws and Jax Qs. I'll also get familiar with the timing of Flay and the timing of Flay when it first hits over here versus when it comes over here versus when it hits the middle. Your face is in front of Thresh. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so I'm actually going to try to get them to a point where they can jump over the dummy, like right there. Now he can actually jump over the dummy because he's close enough. So now, like, look, like now I've kind of figured out that, oh, if I bring it at an angle, then that changes the the vertical position of the dummy. The vertical position of the dummy is not fixed. I can have some momentum go horizontally, like in diagonal, to change the vertical position so that he can jump over. Oops. But really, like, this is just building a lot of confidence with the fillet and with how far my mouse needs to move in order to do what I need it to do. And that confidence is everything. Because that confidence means I'm not going to be thinking while I'm fighting. You know, I'm just going to be doing. I'm just going to be executing the play. Do I hear my dog? Simba? I do hear my dog. Hold on, I think my dog wants to come in here. Give me a sec. Never mind. Alright. There's also a benefit. I am quite tired, but there's actually a benefit of practicing while tired, because it actually, your brain is in a different mode when you're tired and you're fatigued. And so training while tired is training you while tired. So next time you're tired, you're going to have more experience while tired. There we go. Yo, what's up? What's up, Raccoon? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's see what time it is. Alright, I got 6 minutes. Oh, it's not my dog I hear. There's construction going on in the house, so I'm hearing like someone banging a hammer, and it's really muffled in the studio because it's soundproofed. And then with my headphones on, it's muffled more, and it just kind of sounds like my dog snorting under, like sniffing under the door. So that's what I'm hearing. How you doing, Raccoon? Is it nighttime for you, or is it daytime? Your practice reminds me of when I used to grind 4.0 attack speed, kiting back in the day with old Lethal Tempo, even messing with brightness and gamma in video settings to see pixels better. Nice. Who'd you practice it on? 4.0? That's pretty niche. Like Kog'Maw or Twitch? what I always do in practice shit like this is move between stuff. What do you mean move between? How you doing? I'm doing good. I didn't sleep much, so I'm like probably a little bit low energy and maybe a little bit irritable, but I'm happy to be practicing. I'm happy to be here. It's 11 p.m. here. Gotcha. Gotcha. Maybe I should, I don't know. Maybe I could put the actual like schedule, the way that each exercise is going to develop week to week. I can show you guys, put it somewhere in like the Twitch description or something. Move between E, I got you. Yeah, that's that'll be coming in later weeks. Cuz I'm going to be repeating this every 5 days a week for 12 months. So I can afford to start really slow and just kind of develop one little skill at a time. If I rush, I may develop some skills kind of half-assed. I might, instead of getting a 10 out of 10 on practicing the skill, you know, that skill might get a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. And so I might be more sloppy in the end. So I'm building, because I have so much time, I'm building one skill at a time. And once, I assume that in a few weeks of doing it like this, by the way, it's going to continue to develop, like next week is going to be more difficult than this, but as it continues to develop, eventually it'll become so easy what I'm doing that I can add movement without it being really too challenging. It was Twitch. It was like a different champ compared to the rest. Yeah, that makes sense. You go on hit Twitch, is that right? Someone was going on hit Twitch. I'm just trying to remember if it was you. Let's see, 2 more minutes. How you doing, Wake? How's your day? I'm assuming it's nighttime for you. How was your day? Oh wow, 2 more minutes still. Oh, I have coffee here. I should probably drink it. It's progressing pretty nice, to be honest, because now, I mean, I'm zoning out, but I'm still, like, knocking him over the dummies. Getting him to go where I want left and right after going up and down, maybe a little trickier. Like, that's not quite close enough. There we go. Look at that. See, now left and right flays, look at that. It's a lot harder for me to do left and right flays, for whatever reason. Let me try to bring him back to where he can be in proper position. It's so hard to get him aligned left and right. That's so strange. Look at that. Why is he going up and down? Oh shit, I think it's, yeah, it's overtime. by 1 minute. So we're back. Moving on to the next one, which is just lantern practice. Alright. We'll get more awards here. Actually, this wasn't the position. The update actually being helpful now. This was the position. I think this is the position of yesterday. I'd like to think of your practice as pruning the neural pathway so aim becomes reflex instead of calculation, like lobotomizing yourself in a way. I actually have no idea about lobotomizing. I'd be curious what connection you're making there, but yeah, actually, yeah. Pruning. I'm not so sure about pruning, but indirectly, I imagine it's strengthening the neural pathways which lead to the results that I want, which naturally, because they're stronger, the old neural pathways are utilized less and so eventually do get pruned. So that's very sharp insight. Are you into neuroscience? That's very sharp insight. But yeah, that is the goal, to make it all reflex instead of calculation. That is the goal. Like, honestly, to have Thresh play himself, really. Like, even practicing moving through the jungle, like I talked about this before, but practicing the pathing of warding. Like, really, like, if we think about it, there's only certain timers to go ward, right? You ward at 150, I know that one for sure, and then there's all these different timers to go ward in the early game. So I just practice that every single day, 30 minutes a day, just walking the same route and warding the same route, that I can literally have Thresh walk through the jungle and place the wards without me even really realizing it, autopilot, while focusing on Draven. That's one of the goals, one of the objectives. And it seems possible. It seems reasonable based off of it just seems reasonable to me. But yeah, this exercise is just training. I mean, it's training a few things. It's training my mind that, oh, when I press this button, I throw a lantern. Because I do tend to think, you know, before I press lantern. So it's training my mind. It's making it easier for my mind to understand especially my subconscious mind, to understand that lantern means using my thumb in this spot on the mouse. But then the other thing that it's doing, I mean, it's also training me to throw the lantern where I want it to. It's training me what it feels like to have my mouse in a certain position to throw the lantern at a certain distance. But it's also, just like the other one, just like the hook exercise, it's training accuracy and precision of my mouse. And decisiveness as well, because I'm doing this in one decisive action. I'm not, once my mouse arrives at the ward, I'm not moving it around to get to the proper spot. I'm trying to do it all in one swift motion. Here's another thing that I'm changing. Two things. First of all, I have a mistake. My armrest is up. Or down. This needs to be up. The other thing is that sometimes I play with my wrist on here. That leads to friction, which is inconsistent. So sometimes my mouse goes a little bit different. It's a little bit like when my hand, you can't see it. When my hand relaxes, my hand can relax, like my hand can be already relaxing like this, or my hand can be pushed down, and then when I relax my hand, it moves my mouse up. Or I could have my hand pushed up, and then when it relaxes, it comes back down. So it creates inconsistency. However, if I lift my hand off the table and I'm playing fully with my arm up, now that inconsistency is gone. And so, but the thing is it's a little bit harder to get precise control, because instead of using my tiny wrist muscles, I'm using my big old forearm and shoulder muscles and triceps. So it becomes a little bit more difficult to get the fine precision. However, it's more consistent. And so I'm wondering that if I consistently train precision with my forearm, shoulders, and triceps, if they will be actually capable of doing precision quickly. Because if that's possible, then it's undoubtedly more consistent to lift my hand up as I'm doing this. Maybe unlearning the urge to do a quick and dirty hook or look, yeah. Unlearning is an interesting way to put it, but that's one way you could look at it. Like I said, more specifically, it's training the correct path, and then the incorrect path just atrophies. I'm not even, I almost feel like unlearning is an oxymoron, because I don't think you unlearn anything. I think you learn other things and then it atrophies. But I enjoy the details, and I think the details are actually important. However, you could find it annoying as well, because you basically are right. It's just when you get into the details, I would phrase it a different way. And then after this, you just miss Q instead of just flaying enemy 2 feet away. You mean after this practice? We'll see. That's a little bit of a different problem. That's the type of problem that we would see in VOD review, where I noticed that, okay, in this situation, I could have just flayed instead of hook. So now, okay, we're going to add an exercise of where I flay into hook. I'm just going to practice that every single day. In fact, that probably should be an exercise. I'll consider that for week 2. But, yeah. And that's where review is going to become really powerful. Like, to be able to see the big picture of like, oh, yeah, I just need to be more confident. I need 2 things. I need to be more confident in flay hooking. I need to be more decisive so I can do it quickly. And I need to be able to recognize when is the proper opportunity to do that. And that could come with review. And those are 3 different skills that you're building. That's not one skill. That's not one skill that's flay hook. That's 3 different skills that really demand their own attention. Let's see what time it is. So we have 5 minutes. Before I forget, I actually want to write that down. So I want to write down flay hook exercise, just so I can ponder it. And then the other thing I want to write down, it just came to me while I was doing this and talking about it, is flash flay exercises. Building confidence on that. And just muscle memory. Flash flay in different directions at different angles. That would be good. These are all great week 2 exercises. For nothing set in stone. Sorry to be pedantic. Unlearn to make an effort to forget your usual way of doing something so that you can learn a new, sometimes better way. Are you, like, you just looked up the definition? Don't feel sorry about being pedantic. The details matter to me. The details, everything, all it means to look at the details of something is to see the world in a higher resolution. and you see the world in a higher resolution, you notice uh, the more micro relationships between things and the more micro mechanisms by which things work. Everything is built from micro mechanisms, so it just adds another layer of understanding and also improvement of things and lateral connections. So don't worry. If that's the definition, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm saying in terms of the neuroscience. I mean, look it up. You can probably look it up. I could be wrong. Like, can you unlearn things? Or do you just learn? Like, the thing about unlearning that's interesting to me is the term itself implies it's something active that you do. But intuitively to me, unlearning is a passive thing. It happens by directing your focus somewhere else. But even then, I'm not sure. You can't override the neural pathways that are there. Like, maybe they prune, but maybe they don't. Like, just because you haven't rode a bike in a very long time doesn't mean you're going to forget how to ride a bike, you know? So I'm not sure you ever fully unlearn things. You just, it's like an addiction, you know? You just make the other neural pathways so strong that you, most of the time, don't come back. Don't feel sorry about being pedantic. You do you, and I love the detail. Building reflex is brutal. You stop for one day and it doesn't just plateau, it decays. I'd like to think of it as not just maintaining a skill, you're outrunning entropy. Yeah. To some extent it probably does atrophy. It's I don't know if it atrophies. I mean, it maybe does atrophy to some extent, but I think really what it is you're not warmed up. So there's like your baseline, and then there's your above baseline when you're warmed up, when you're focused, when you're confident. And what ends up happening is maybe you do atrophy a little bit, but I think more of what happens is that when you're out of practice, you return to your baseline, but you're not used to being at your baseline. You're used to being at your best, and your baseline is just so much lower than your best. But like, for example, for me, I didn't really play League for a whole year when I was in Spain. And I came back and it was like I was better. For whatever reason. I was actually better at the game. Not instantaneously. I was Emerald actually this season for a long time. But then someone tilted me. Literally someone tilted me and triggered my ego. Or triggered my ego, I don't know. Someone tilted me. They said my elo was bad. And I said, what's your peak? I said, what's your peak? And he said, like, Masters 300 LP. And I said, give me a week. Or whatever. Or I said, give me 2 weeks. And then I told my friend I'm getting Masters by the end of the month. And I literally went from Emerald. I was hard stuck Emerald. I went from Emerald to Master before the end of the month. It was August last year. It's so crazy to me that when people say, you're so bad. Like gold players will say, you're so bad, you're silver. And then platinum players will say, you're so bad, you're like gold, you're gold. And then emerald players will say, you're so bad, you're plat. And then masters players will say, you're so bad, you're low masters, if they're high masters. And GM players will say, you're so bad, you're masters, right? Challenger players, you're so bad, you're GM. High challenger players, you're so bad, you're low challenger. Players who hit rank 1, you're so bad you can't even reach rank 10. Pro players, you're so bad you couldn't even go pro even though you're rank 1. I don't understand it, to be honest. I really don't. I don't understand why people say that, like what that does for them. I don't know if that's like delusion in people's minds, that they think that what they're saying like it matters or is any reflection on reality. It just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like just ego. Give ChatGPT 10 minutes and we'll know its guess about. Do a deep first principles research into neuroscience and if unlearning is oxymoron or misnomer. Use primary research. That's a great idea. Someone push your buttons? Yeah. Why does your FPS stuck at 45 FPS like no matter what, even in a team fight with heavy effects? I don't know. My FPS is locked at 240. It's locked at 240, so I have no idea. Like literally, I'll go in the settings. It's locked at 240. It's locked at 240. Oh, now it's at 60. Well, putting someone in Masters down does feel good. That's probably why. Yeah, I guess you do it because it feels good. Okay, time's up with this one. We'll move on. So the next one is Thresh Jungle Pathing. So this, let me try to do it the way, let me try to do it the way that I did yesterday. I'm gonna need to find the enemy jungler and just put like target dummies around so that he gets distracted and doesn't step on the wards. They do have a jungler? Yeah, they do. Alright. So I'll create the pathing now. Oh, that's so weird. Why does it... Like my blue word disappeared. I'll try to do this fast. It would be great if I was... Like I had the precise locations. Maybe I'll do that in the future so I have very precise clicks. I think that would be optimal. Maybe I'll consider memorizing that after stream. I'll consider it. However, this was the general path. And I'm just doing it quick. I'm doing it quick so that I can get to it quick. And I'll do it without boots, I suppose. Sure. I'll do it and move my camera on Draven. That seems like it's a little bit more complex than I would like for week 1. However, it's also not that bad. Maybe a little bit of challenge makes a little bit of sense. But also, I don't know. I really want to just focus on the Thresh clicks. Let me, what's the button to look at a certain character? It's in the F keys, right? Because I want you to be able to see him moving. Select ally, F1. There we go. Oh yeah, nice. I have to hold it. Damn. Do I have something that can hold that down? That works, I think. There we go. It's a little choppy though. That's almost nauseating. Maybe they don't know how to lift themselves up, so they have to drag others down to their level and beat them with experience. I think that is, of course, what it is, but I just don't understand how... I don't understand how someone could be so unempathetic and also how unself-aware. Maybe they are self-aware, but they just don't care about the impact that has on other people. Or maybe they do care, but they just don't realize the impact. And I just can't relate. But it's also probably because I'm really sensitive, and most people aren't sensitive. So most people can probably handle when other people are toxic. But for me, it cuts really, really deep. And so I would never, you know, it's not that I would never, because I have been toxic before, but I intentionally, like, I'm in a very, those are in very bitter periods of my life where I have a lot of hate in my heart and resentment, and I genuinely want to break the other person. But I know what I'm doing, I don't know if everybody's like that. Maybe a lot of people are like that. Maybe they are genuinely hateful and just want to break the other person. But it's hard for me to imagine that everyone who plays this game is like that, because toxicity is so prevalent in every single game you play. The density of players who would just be like that just does not seem to make sense. Aw. What'd I say that was aw? What time does this end? Ends at 10, so we have 9 minutes. Have you seen the population? Mandatory armed service was a reality check about the average state of civilization. What do you mean, mandatory armed service? So I'm in the United States. There's the draft, but there's no mandatory armed service. Oh, it was a reality check for you. In what way? I could imagine how something like that could be life-changing. The discipline and the intensity of it. You realize certain things matter, certain things don't. But in what way did it change you? I had a friend in my master's program where she joined the military. Honestly, I think her and I are quite similar, and that's why we didn't get along. But I wanted to do in the military initially out of fantasy, because I thought it would give me some purpose. But she said it was the worst decision of her life. And honestly, if I was locked in the military for 4 years and I had to be told what to do, I would probably hate it. And I can't leave. I would probably hate it. It would feel like the biggest regret of my life. Playing any games or just practice tool? Just practice tool today. And then I'm playing Ark Survival Evolved after. In just over an hour. Lost in Jungle, 20 minutes documentary, finding your way back to bot. The struggle of support players. Like how average people tick. Not the bubble I was in. Wait, keep explaining, Hanson, because I don't quite understand, but I want to understand. Man, the military always feels dystopian to me. For me, I can't imagine having to strip your autonomy and just be a pawn for years. Yeah, the crazy part as well is that just the reality of people dying and for what? Like watching a documentary on the Civil War in the United States Civil War. You know, young people deciding to be a part of something for a cause, and they die in an instant. They just die in an instant. Their whole life, it's like they just don't understand. They don't think that they're actually going to die. Like, they don't think it will happen to them. And then just in a moment, it's like their life never even started, really. You know, when you die, when you're 19, you're 20, you're 21, like, you haven't had a chance to really experience life. And it's weird. It's weird because I'm glad to be alive, and we only have one life, and theirs is just gone. For what? For a cause, by someone's mistake, by a commander whose inexperience picked a fight that was bad. And now they're dead. And they agree to that. They agree to participate and to be told what to do, even if that means going to their death. I understand why we have militaries. Like, I understand, but if there's no life after death, then that's weird. It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's why? That's the question. And I sound like a hippie, but And there's obvious answers like, oh, we need to stop the bad guys. We need to protect our interests. That's the reality. We say we have to stop the bad guys, but that's really just rationalization of we need to protect our interests and our values. But that is ignoring the meditation. That's ignoring really feeling the gravity of the fact that we have one life and you lose it in an instant. And we're doing that to each other and agreeing to that. We're both saying we're going to kill each other. You can kill me and I can kill you. And we're okay with that. That's something I'm 100% agreeing to participate in. What's up, Xenotrix? Boot camp was fun, sports exercises, and they tried mental torture. Trains one's fortitude and perspective on life. The rest of the service is boring as fuck. Yeah, I could imagine how the training the fortitude would be valuable. I think that's one thing, not to make it about me. I hate it when people do this, by the way. You share something about yourself and then they're like, oh, me too. Let me talk about that for a while. So I want to acknowledge that. However, I do want to talk about it. I feel like that's what Spain gave me, was mental fortitude. And I genuinely think I probably was traumatized. Like, probably have PTSD. I don't know if I still do, but I could go into depth about, I could justify it about how it was so intense, but when I returned home, my psychiatrist had someone evaluate me, and they were very persistent about me going to therapy. Like, I was answering questions, and I started putting the dots together about what she was asking. And every time I'd answer a question, she'd be like, oh. And she'd ask the next question and be like, oh. As if it was really concerning. Like, having nightmares, avoiding doing certain things, avoiding certain places, avoiding thinking certain things even. It's almost like the avoidance of thinking about it has shaped my personality and made me someone else, because it's such a strong compulsion to avoid it. How's training going? Going good. It's been fun, and we're going through it. Which part of the population? But I'd rather not get into U.S. class politics. Sure, we don't have to. I find class politics a lot more interesting than actually like left versus right. I find class politics much more interesting. I don't mind talking about politics on the stream, by the way. I think it's tricky because it can get personal, but I think there's a mature way to handle it. Not just mature, because even grown adults can't handle it, but there's a way to talk about it and understand that there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture, and argument in some way is healthy. Healthy for you and your mind. Glad to catch you live. Yo, what's up, Zio? Zio Orphix? Hold on, let me check. Hold on. I have a feeling. Yeah, I didn't recognize that name. First time chatter. Welcome, man. Welcome. We're doing practice right now. 5 days a week, every day. 2 hours a day. Maybe 3 to 4 hours later, but if you want to lose your hope in humanity, you can watch some infamous case of a guy just randomly decided to murder a family, then bathe and eat their food. I've seen plenty of that on YouTube. Spent a lot of time on YouTube seeing like stuff like that. So very aware, and it's quite grim. I've learned a lot about those types of people as well. It's weird because I empathize with them in a way because they're not breaking the rules of their own moral compass. They're literally just born with different capacities, and we ostracize them. Granted, they deserve it in a way. It depends your perspective, but from the perspective of the majority, they deserve to be ostracized. but they were just born that way, so it's tough. But also they're born that way, but they're choosing to do something that they know will get them ostracized. So it's consensual in that way. But it's not. But I do see them with that perspective that they're born that way, or develop that way. But either way, it's. Yeah, that happens if you. Okay, let me check the time. Okay, it's time to go to the next exercise. Draven E into Thresh Q. So Zio, since you're new here, this next exercise we're practicing is an exercise that you can only do if you play Thresh and Draven at the same time. The next exercise is actually even more impressive, even harder and more complex, but even more honestly game breaking. I hate to say that because I don't want it to seem like I have an unfair advantage, but I mean it's a mechanical skill. Hey, if you have two other people who can coordinate like this and practice every single day, like maybe two other players can do it if they practice as much as I'm going to practice it, or as I am practicing it. But this first coordination, so the next one is crazier than this, okay? But this is the next one. Hold on, but I want to read chat just for 1 sec. I wanted to see. Yeah, that happens if you don't want to spend money on mental health of your general population. U.S. healthcare, fuck yeah, America. Fortunately, my stepdad, his job gives him good healthcare, so I have access to good healthcare. So at least I have a wonderful experience with it. But yeah, but it is, yeah. I mean, I have my opinions about. I think the easier debate to have, because healthcare is so politicized, the easier debate to have is that how expensive vet bills are. And here's just an idea, guys. Is this political? But I'm not saying we should or shouldn't do anything. I'm going to make this quick so I can get back to practice, but I'm not saying we should or do anything. I'm just posing a thought. The idea that somebody's dog could eat a piece of gum that has xylitol. My dog did that. Fortunately, it was already chewed. It was a bunch of pieces in a paper towel. But fortunately, it was already chewed, so it didn't kill him. But the vet bill just to get him checked out was like hundreds of dollars. To get him scanned was like thousands of dollars. To get him treated was thousands of dollars. The fact that something one day could happen and their dog they just have to let their dog die. Because it's thousands of dollars. And that the vast majority of people cannot afford that in the United States. And then I'm just posing a thought. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't do anything, because the reality is it's very, very complex, and that there's a lot of systems that are interacting with each other, and you change one thing in one system and it changes another thing in another system. However, the idea that Elon Musk, I looked at the actual, and by the way, the cost of a vet, it's actually not a very profitable business to run a vet. They have very expensive schooling, and so vets, they get paid a decent amount, but then also to run a 24-hour vet, they have to get paid overtime. So they're paid a ton of overtime. You have to have it staffed constantly, 24 hours. You have to have very expensive like anti-venoms, which expire in weeks, that come from like Australia. You need to have very expensive medications, and you have to have very expensive machines. And then plus, in order to get this, you need a big upfront investment. Of course, someone that's going to invest hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars wants to have some return for all that risk. That's reasonable. So the actual business of a 24-hour veterinary clinic isn't actually very profitable for the person who owns it. Like, hardly at all. It's one of the lowest margins businesses in the United States. You look at the entire industry, and the idea that Elon Musk could pay $1 billion and fund the entire industry in the United States for either a year or for years, and nobody has to let their pet die. Everybody, the entire industry is funded for a year. Everybody could have free veterinary services. It's just a thought to pose, because it is complicated, but it's just a thought to pose. that maybe somewhere in the nuance there is a better way. It may not be as simple as raise taxes. It may not be this, that, the other. But at least we can look at the perspective and feel the way that that makes us feel. And in the future, that may inform our opinion as we learn more information. So that's what I want to say. I'm not saying that we should or shouldn't do anything, but that was just something I thought about before, and it hurts. The gap between a single death matters to the person living it. So hold on, I'm running behind on this practice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little bit. Although the practice tool is going to end in 1 minute, but we'll do a little bit of practice and then we'll open it up.
I've got pain to serve.
I'm already way more comfortable with this than I was yesterday, which is like very exciting and is astounding. It's astounding. It's so much more natural in one day. And I'm going to be practicing this 5 days. I repeat myself, but for the people who are new here, I'm going to be practicing these exercises 5 days a week for 12 months. I mean, or longer, honestly. But I have 12 months planned. 6 months explicitly planned, week to week. 12 months is the plan. Like I have the development of each exercise planned for the next 6 months. Let's try to get in game quick. We'll probably have 5 minutes of practice, which is good. That's not bad. 15 minutes was the plan, but I wanted to talk. The gap between a single death matters to the person living it and how little it registers to the world outside. It feels cold sometimes. The gap between a single death matters more to the person living it and how little it registers to the world outside. It feels cold sometimes. Yeah. I just don't think people think about it. I don't think most people really feel and grasp, truly have felt mortality and have felt what it means to them to realize their mortality. And I didn't feel that until I faced that. So I can't blame people. But I think that's where it comes from. Just people they just don't feel they don't get it. They don't feel the gravity of it. So, like I said, I can't blame people. I don't find it cold. I find it just... It's almost like... I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't know how to describe it. Because, in a way, throwing away lives like this in war feels human. Like, it's innate. Like, young men have an interest in war. I mean, unless I'm wrong, like maybe not all of them, but it seems that the majority have an interest and naturally glorify being on a team and fighting and winning and even if that means killing, and even killing in a way is you know, killing isn't glorified, but winning a battle with a gun is glorified. So you just don't think about the killing too much. Think about the winning. That's the way it seems. And again, that feels innately human. So how can I judge that? But it really just raises questions about the meaning of everything. It raises questions about that because I value what comes natural to us. I value what makes us human. To me, that's a part of the meaning.
Places to go, me to see.
Honestly, I think that is the closest thing to meaning, is just our natural humanity. And you accept once it's over, and there's Sorry, I'm not gonna keep talking about this because it's getting maybe a little bit too grim now.
I've got pain to serve.
And honestly, I haven't thought any deeper than I've been speaking, and so I'd be speaking off the top of my head, and I don't know if I want to when it comes to this. So let's see, what time is it? We got 4 more minutes, right? Yeah, we got 4 more minutes.
Perfection? I got that.
I'll read the chat in a second. I just didn't want to spend any more time reading chat on this specific exercise because I wanted to get some time in. Also, Raccoon, could you log on to do some practice with the hooking through the wave?
Let's admire me for a bit.
Because that's the next exercise. It's okay if not. I could do it with a dummy. It's just harder.
Don't be jealous.
You know what's another thing? I was just thinking about it. I said earlier that it's complicated, but to some people, a moral question like I posed earlier isn't complicated. It's just you do what's moral and what's right. And I think that's actually a valid perspective. However, you also have to accept that there will be consequences to that. And so you accept you're going to do what's right at all costs. You're going to do what's morally apparent to your gut and your intuition, and you're going to do that at all costs, which is a perspective. And I think there's value to that. I'm just not sure that it's the only effective perspective. But I'm not saying that it isn't the best. It's just I like to think about things, and I'm still figuring out my own perspective. Yeah, this is way easier than yesterday. It's actually awesome.
I don't do subtle.
This is like such a strategy because I'm imagining like I'm running away from a Jax and I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna get like guarantee a hook? Boom, guaranteed the hook. So it's good for running away too. Oh shit. Yeah, honestly, it might be an underrated tool for disengage. Because what could I do, right? I'm running away on Draven. Boom, guarantee the hook. Alright, Thresh, let's get the fuck out of here. And then I ult and then we run away, right? Like how can a Jax chase that? Thresh hooks him, flays him away, ults him, and he's that far from Draven with Glacial Augment. Like, Draven's gone, right? So I always thought of this as an engage tool, but as a disengage, it's actually even better.
Places to go, me to see.
Yeah, you can log on? Okay, cool. Let's see. It's about time. I'll go until literally the proper minute, but there's a minute. Oh, right. I need to have my hand lifted. Practice having my hand lifted. It's probably time. Yeah, it's time. All right, we're gonna make a new custom game with Raccoon, who's gonna help us with the next exercise. All right, now I can read chat while it's opening. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Hey, again, I'm on my lunch break, so I can't stay long. But what champs? Oh, I'm so sorry. But what champions do you think would work well for 2 champs mid jungle? My first thought is something like TF Nocturne. That is psycho. yeah, that could work. But honestly, my recommendation is if you want something like if you can play Oriana, do Oriana Nocturne. That's so cheese. Oriana Nocturne is so cheese. Like you guaranteed one shot. You put the ball on Nocturne and then you ult when Nocturne ults, like shortly after he ults, and then by the time Nocturne hits, the ult hits the ADC and it just one shots him. Significance isn't something the universe hands out. It's something that people who remain here have to actually actively choose to give through memory or refusing to look away. That makes sense. Like the Nazi and Inglourious Bastards, how did he play him that well? Well, he played him as if they were the good guys, fully okay on their moral compass, still fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, that was a great movie, by the way. And the actor, I forgot his name, but the actor for that guy is so good. First world problems, healthcare in Vietnam is practically free. Also, where are you, brother? Are you joining? Well, he certainly didn't get where he is by giving away money. Who? Oh, Elon Musk? No. True. I recognize that. I understand. It's just a thought to pose. Like, I wonder if he heard that thought experiment. I wonder if he would be like, actually, you know what it was? Actually, it was less than $1 billion. It was literally less than the interest of his money sitting in a bank. He could annually fund the entire veterinary industry in the United States and make he could pay everybody's salary. He could pay to keep all the lights on. He could pay all for all the medications, all the equipment, for every single clinic in the United States for less than the interest, like way less than the interest of his money sitting in the bank. And so I'm not saying we should force him to do anything, but I just wonder if he heard that and he could empathize with, like, he himself had an experience of losing a pet. I wonder if him just hearing that thought experiment, he'd be like, why don't I do that? Let me just do that. And I think that would be amazing. Like that would be just, that is like the, that's the good ending, you know? Like that's more beautiful than fiction. It would be unbelievable if it was fiction, and that I feel like it's possible, and it would just be wonderful. It's the tragedy of capitalism. The system doesn't ask if you deserve it, just if you kept more than you gave. Very interesting perspective. I've gone back and forth on capitalism. I've always been in favor of capitalism, though I explored other things briefly, and I kind of questioned capitalism. But the more that I learned about J.P. Morgan, the more I realized the nuance of it. And that's that J.P. Morgan became so powerful in the United States. He literally could control whether we went into the Great Depression, and he controlled us getting out. He literally got us out of a depression by making some phone calls to some bankers and injecting his own funds into the economy. So, like, and that power seemed off to me. However, he became that rich by creating the Transcontinental Railroad, among other things. And the Transcontinental Railroad changed the future of the United States. It made everybody's life better. The United States wouldn't be what it is, and honestly, the entire world wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the Transcontinental Railroad. Which, what that is, by the way, guys, if you're not familiar, the Transcontinental Railroad, I don't know if it's still functional, but it was a railroad that went from the east coast of the United States all the way to the west coast. And for perspective, with the size of the United States, that might help understand how difficult this was. The size of the United States, to go from the northern east to the northern west coast of the United States, the tower's fucking distracting me. Hold on. Okay, I'm coming.
I got that.
Oh, I added bots. Fuck. Sorry, we have to leave. Leave, Raccoon. Let's, Um, the distance between the northern, not Alaska, I mean the continental United States, from northern west United States to northern east United States is longer. It's a bigger distance than going from England to Syria. It's bigger than that. By like 30%. Maybe not 30, but 20%. And so to create a railroad of that distance when it's never been done before, never even really been, it's been attempted a couple times and failed every time. In fact, the failure of a railroad is what caused the Great Depression across the world, because the railroad went bankrupt. The railroad was funded by a bank. The bank went bankrupt. Everybody took their money out of the banks. All the banks went bankrupt except JP Morgan, and then everybody sold their stock, and the entire world stock market crashed. It caused a recession across the entire world. And so the world is way better off. We would not have the same world today if the Transcontinental Railroad, it connected industries, it connected resources from the West, it allowed people to move west. It created more innovation, it facilitated innovation. And as a result of that, he became one of the richest men in the United States. So eventually antitrust laws were created because of Rockefeller and JP Morgan. So antitrust laws were created because of them, because JP Morgan got a monopoly on the steel industry, and that was a problem. So eventually antitrust laws, and there should be antitrust laws, like that makes perfect sense to me. However, it also makes sense to me that what drove this person, this is a certain archetype of person who is ambitious and is ruthless. And what drives this person is the excitement of ambition.
Man, I'm good.
And so we would not have the Transcontinental Railroad and steel, the steel industry, U.S. Steel, and steel across the world. We would not have this if we didn't create a game that was satisfying for this archetype of person to play. And so if you remove the game, I don't think a JP Morgan exists. And that's a real example of us losing innovation that changed the world. And I realize that that's just one person and one example. And if that's now consider every other innovator since then. You know, like the person who made cars, Thomas Edison. But specifically, what's his name that made cars? So that informed my perspective a lot. That was a big kind of perspective that changed my perspective.
Do settle.
Ooh, okay, so you can't do it up against a wall because the minions just get stuck on Thresh. So you can't do it up against a wall. Noted. Oh shit. Damn, I did it kind of late, but it worked.
Now this is how to move.
I'll read chat in a second, guys. I just want to make sure I'm giving enough time and attention to this exercise, because I took a lot of time talking. Wow, even with the minion wave coming, it works.
Don't be jealous.
So I think that there's a gray area with capitalism. I think there's a way to preserve the game and to recognize that maybe we have some excess in some areas, and we could solve some real problems that cause people real pain. We can reduce suffering without really messing up the game for the people who innately are obsessed with that type of game. Where are you? Where'd you go? Forward. Thank you. Yeah, it's around 2 hours for the exercises. In fact, there's 4 minutes left. Where'd you go, bro? Alright, there we go. Oh, I can't be against the wall. Thank you for lining up, by the way. You're making it way easier for me. Thank you for like lining up with the Thresh and the Draven. Let's see if I can do this, even though Thresh and Draven are a little bit off axis. Yeah, if they're a little bit off axis, it's okay. Let's see if they're a lot off axis. I don't think this will work this much off axis, but we can try. We'll see. I'm good with whatever for the week 1. Yeah, see, the Draven was too close there. I think this is a fair E. There's like a little bit of minions in the way. What I find really awesome about this kind of combo is that this even works when the melee minions are up against Thresh. Like, that's crazy to me. This guy could be surrounded by minions and it will create the space it needs for the hook. Like, he could be completely surrounded and it creates the space. Like, I could even do this in a team fight, potentially. That would be interesting to practice. Practicing doing this in a chaotic fight every day. And like getting through the tank to the carry. That would be crazy. That'd be sick. I mean, that could win a team fight. 100% could win a team fight. That could win a game. That could win a team fight that wins a game. Ah, Draven's too close though. Thank you, by the way, for moving back. All right, let's try over here. Ooh, too close to the wall. Ah. Some of it's timing, some of it's positioning. If I throw the hook too late, the minions go back. They walk towards Thresh again. If I throw it too early, then it's not giving the E a chance to move the minions far enough away. Alright, let's see. What time is it? 2 more minutes? And then we'll move on to the stun exercise, or the Mikhail's exercise. Or actually, maybe it's 3 axes, I don't remember. Oh, here come minions. Ah! Oh, never mind. I thought you bought items so you could kill the minion wave. Some escapes. You can kill them. You can kill the wave. Whatever you want. Oops. Thank you.
Perfection? I got that.
I don't think this is in range, but we can give it a shot. Ooh, just barely out of range. The Draven E was. Ah, that minion! Oops. I could even do that though. Like, I could even hit her and then hook down in certain situations. Not if there's too many minions though. I've tried it before. But if there's not too many minions, if there's only a little bit, it might be possible. I have to separate her from the minions is the tricky part. But there's certain situations where they're probably lined up and I can. Ooh, that angle's tough. Let's see if I can get it while the minions are coming. You know, it's so crazy. It's like these oh, see, I could have done it there. Could have done it there. It's like these champions are made for each other. Like, it's like these champions are made for each other. Like, the fact that Draven can part the minions for the hook, it's just too perfect. It's too much synergy. It's like Xayah Rakan synergy. It's awesome. Alright, time's up. So we'll move on to the next one. I need to put my laptop on the charger. And I'll read chat in a bit. I'll probably read chat while catching axes. Well, catching axes. I said catching. Is that even an accent, or did I just misspeak? Alright, Thresh is gonna be AFK now. Don't need Thresh for a little bit. And I'll need you in 15 minutes, Raccoon, if you don't mind. It's up to you though. But I really appreciate the help. What button is control? Oh, Shift S, okay. Let's spawn an enemy dummy. So the next exercise is just 3 axe catching practice. He's just having fun. Stunning Thresh. I should probably catch with boots, which is going to make it a little bit harder. I need attack speed. I don't want too much movement speed. How did I get attack speed before? I didn't get like Phantom Dancer, did I? I guess it makes sense. Let's do that.
Got axes.
Alright, I'll read a little bit of chat here. So, let me just scroll. Really appreciate your thought process and your willingness to speak about these topics. I actually really appreciate that. I really appreciate that because I'm not sure. I don't want to create too much dissonance and too much unrest in the stream and in the server or in the chat. So, but if some people tolerate it, if a decent percentage of people can tolerate it or enjoy it, then that matters to me because I enjoy talking about it. So that perspective, like you telling me that, really is helpful. Thank you. Thank you for Charlie Sheen and my brain going winning. Why? Raccoon, yeah. Ignorance is bliss. Once you know about or even understand the difficult schools of ethics, you're guaranteed to get a headache from thinking about almost anything. Sure. Hello, my favorite drummer. Actually, not a drummer. But what's up, Mika Lover? I program drums. I play other stuff, but not drums. Shit, I logged on to my main law. You have to wait a bit. No problem. No, he needs it all. As far as I understand how you do it as a rich person, you borrow against your stock options or private companies and you don't pay taxes. Yep. Notice, you probably get asked this a lot. Would you be able to have one champion WAS while... Actually, I had not asked that a lot. Well, the other is mobile mouse, and the mobile mouse moves in the same place in both computers, but support uses the mouse just to hit Q. I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can, conceivably, and probably if you practice, you could pull it off. But for me, I love the feeling of using the 2 mice at once. I love what it does for my brain, and I love the feeling of it. I love the way it looks. I love all of that. I saw a historic documentary about the building of Transcontinental Railroad. Luckily, today you have OSHA. What is that? What is OSHA? You probably get asked this a lot. Will you be able to have one champion? Blah, same thing. Sorry for bad explanation. Nope, not bad. Not bad at all. Love people who apologize for nothing. I can never do that. It's not good if you apologize for nothing. It really isn't. It's a bad habit. It's a sign of abuse. It's a sign of being used to being abused and for trying to manage somebody else's emotions who is unfair. Somebody who somebody who's mad because they're mad, and therefore you're wrong and you're a bad person. And that's the logic. I'm mad. You did something wrong because I'm mad. And these people, sometimes these people, you challenge them and they get more heated. And usually when you're a child, you can't compete. What are you gonna do if your parent is like that? You end up submitting because your parents can ground you. Your parent can do anything. So you instead learn to apologize even if you did nothing wrong. To appease them. Because you're afraid of setting them off. And that's the unfortunate reality. And that it's not good to apologize over nothing in real life. For many reasons. But one is that you're reinforcing that. You're reinforcing that behavior. This is way too much attack speed. And it keeps your mind stuck in that state of appeasing others and ignoring your own internal signals, ignoring your values, ignoring your truth. There was another word I was going to use that was really better, but the point is you lose yourself. All right, the bork is good. The sound is going to annoy me. What do I get for attack speed? It's not too much. Boo, bot, boo. What? Oh, true. Occupational safety and health agent, I guess. Let me look it up.
Don't be jealous.
Ah, okay. Why? What's that for? What does that do? It's kind of hard to juggle 3 axes with this much attack speed, but the fact that I'm doing it's kind of crazy. I mean, not that I can't do it, but it's crazy because, again, I said this on my before, but on my main I drop all my axes, so it's crazy. Like, I'm surprised that this is so natural. I'm losing control of them though. Maybe I can learn to keep control of them, and that's really the key. Cause see how I'm switching directions? That's because I have to catch the axe, right? But it wants to go in a different direction. And ultimately what that is I'm not clicking fast enough. And it could be ping, to be honest. I'm on 90 ping, so I have to click really fast. I have to put in my movement command before my axe hits the enemy. But then it also has to consider that I'm on 90 ping. So I just have to click really fast. But honestly, making my axes go in the right direction with this much attack speed is probably a really good skill to practice. Honestly, I could probably add a 4th, but I said this week I'd do 3. No need to like overdo it. So we'll just do some nice practice of 3. Yeah, that one went. Whoa, that one went. That was a solo Q axe right there. That's like laning phase. Laning phase, I'm about like my support just engages. I have 2 axes. One of my axes goes flying in that direction. We now lose the fight. My bad. My bad. My support dies after getting a great engage because my axe goes into Narnia.
Something need killing.
Shit. I love the feeling of catching the axes right on the border. It feels like every single time it's like, am I going to catch it? Oh, I caught it, and then it feels good. It's also just really, really, really good to practice catching axes on the corner. That's what Hamza said. I never used to do that, right? But I totally see why. You get 1 or 2 more autos in a fight because you're just closer to the enemy. You can stick to them better. This is under 0 pressure? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because the thing is that, I see what you're saying, but, and it is a little bit different under pressure, but also, if it's truly automatic, if you truly practiced it enough, you'll do it under pressure too. That's the reality of the practice. And that's why coaches recommend you practicing catching Draven axes. It's not because, oh, you'll be better catching Draven axes when you're in a practice tool. It's not about that. But it's that literally, like, you can stop thinking about catching axes because you do it automatically. And it's so fluid, and then you can just kind of play the game more. If you're even looking at where your axe is landing,
I'll take it.
you probably haven't practiced enough. And that, I do that. Like a lot of times I'm looking at where my axe is, and that determines which way I'm kiting. Which it works for me. Like, it works. I still climb, but it's not optimal, I don't think. Like, I for sure could be in better positions, or for sure could be get 1 or 2 more autos off in like many fights if I controlled my axes more. If I was faster with my clicks, and like more I had more intuition for it.
Man, I'm good. I'll take that. Too easy.
I love this champion so much, and I'm so glad I started playing him young. Like, I feel like such a wizard playing this champion. Like, it's so true. Like, even if I'm hyping myself up, it's so true. Like, I used to look up to Tyler 1, and now I'm finding myself, I'm 23 years old. I've been playing Draven for 11 years.
This is how to move.
Like, I obsessed over it when I was a kid. I've played like every year, basically. And I feel like I feel like he's so deep in my brain that I almost understand him like I understand something like about my own body. As crazy as it sounds. Maybe, yeah, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, but
Nice act.
like I love that so much because I still love this champion. And I think what it is, I don't know if I already said it. I said something about Tyler 1. I don't know if I made my point, but I looked up to Tyler 1, and honestly, there's a chance I actually do become rank 1 Draven. Like, that's not off the table. And if that's true, then I kind of became what I
Don't be jealous.
idolized when I was younger, and that's just a really cool feeling. And I never really aimed for that too. Like, it just kind of manifested, and so that's a very that's just a, I don't know. It's a wonderful feeling. Are you dreaming about Draven and Draven mechanics and outplays? I do dream about Draven sometimes. Even today. I used to do it all the time when I was younger.
Places to go.
Like when I was like 12, 13. I used to all the time. When I was on vacation, I used to either be reading the wiki to see what new items were being added, or reading the wiki on different champion mechanics, or like Draven. Like literally on vacation, I'd be laying in bed reading the wiki, and I would kind of...
Seems to be blood.
And anytime we were out doing anything, I'd be thinking about the game. I'd be bored out of my mind, and I'd be thinking about the game.
Nice act.
But even to this day, you know, I stopped dreaming about League and about Draven for a while as I pursued music and stopped playing League as much. But this last year, like lately, since I started streaming,
Easy.
and especially lately in these past few months, like, I'm beginning to really get passionate and like dream about it again. I don't like the word passionate; it's too broad. So it's not visual enough. So I'm not gonna say I'm passionate. If I look passionate, if I sound passionate, then you can decide whether I'm passionate enough. I don't need to tell you that I'm passionate. I don't like that. Poster child? What does that mean?
Doesn't get better than this.
OSHA's duty is to prevent the exploitation of workers. Ah, that makes sense, yeah. Like they put out safety for different occupational standards.
No following these.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was talking more about the Federal Commission for Antitrust. I forgot what it's called. But it might be FAIC, FATC, Federal Antitrust Commission.
Killing.
That's what I was talking about. Are you in the United States, Hanson? I'm confused. You know about OSHA, which is that a United States agency?
Here we go. Yoink. Hear that? Death's not.
No, you're not in the United States, I don't think. So how do you know about United States commissions?
Take that.
Or federal commissions.
Watch and learn.
All right, what time is it?
Nice axe. I'll take it.
Oh, perfect. Actually, time's up. All right, so now we're moving on to the next one. Oh, the internet? But you're just like researching that, or you're researching it now, or you researched it before? Because that's, I don't know, I don't think that's something that the average, I'm not saying you're above average, like it's not like an ego thing, but I don't, like the vast majority of people in Europe probably aren't researching that. So I'm just curious. All right, Raccoon. Alright, so for the next practice, it's Mikhail's, Locket, and Redemption practice on Thresh. YouTube has many funny OSHA clips. Ah, okay. Mikhail's, Locket, Redemption. All right.
I've got pain to save.
Oh shit. Mikhail should be on 9. There we go. Oops. Why is my Locket weaker sometimes? I don't understand. Sometimes my Locket's way stronger. Oh, maybe it's Guardian going off. I think that's what it is. Have you saw Midbeast watching? Yeah, I did. I mean, I saw one clip. Unless he's done more. Has he done like a VOD review? That would be sick. I'm terminally online and an expert of nothing, but a student of everything. Kind of like me. I am as well. Although expert of nothing, I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know if I'm an expert of anything, but I'm quite knowledgeable on a lot of different topics. On a lot, maybe not a lot, but a few. Like history and psychology and some neuroscience, which is relevant to me and my processes and my life. Also, welcome. I saw a clip too. Got you. If he did a VOD review, that's sick. I saw a clip. He made a clip a while ago. So I need to figure out what to do with my buttons. Hold on, what does this button do on Thresh? Oh, this button does nothing. Wait. Hold on, pause. Pause, cause 11 does nothing? If 11 does nothing, what? I don't understand. What item is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. If 11 does nothing, then I have another active item here. Yeah, I have another active item, guys. I have a free button. I need to figure out what to do with wards, though, because my wards needs to be on one of these buttons. It used to be on 9, but now that's Mikhail's. Damn, I gotta pee, guys. I gotta pee. Also, why is Twitch chat not popping up on the thing? Yo, I gotta pee so bad. Yeah, I don't know why Twitch chat's not popping up on screen. Guys, I have to... Oh, fuck. Hold on. We have 9 minutes. Alright, I can do this for 9 minutes. Let's go. Keep going. I think. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Let's go. Chat needs to... There we go. Bro is going for goon? Hell no. I'm going to pee, brother. Also welcome. Go toilet, your obsession is crazy, bro. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's 9 minutes, bro. If I come back, I'm wasting minutes, so... I can wait 9 minutes to finish. Wait, so if... I don't understand how that works. So if I actually... Oh my gosh, wait, this is broken, guys. You can press Mikhail's before the stun hits. You don't have to time it like QSS. You can press it before. Look, I'm pressing it before. Look, that's insane. No wonder Mikhail's always looks like my supports are cracked. Like, I can press it before and it just automatically cleanses. That's insane. Put it that way. So this is actually more overpowered than QSS. Because like I can throw it before the Teemo blind even hits Draven. And then it hits him and then it cleanses it instantly. It has to be kind of close. But look, I'm pressing it before. Right there. Now. Boom. Now. It's like half a second. I'm throwing it like as soon as she's throwing her Q. Oh wait, my mouse doesn't even have to be on Draven, guys. If my mouse is just around him, if it's in his vicinity, it'll cleanse him. Yeah, this is getting crazier and crazier. Like, this is getting easier and easier. Way easier than I expected. So I just need to have my mouse around Draven. It doesn't even need to be on him. You only have one bladder? I'll be fine. I'll be fine. You gotta, I'm respecting the schedule. like literally this is the last exercise, so it like practice ends after this anyways, so but this 3 minutes that just passed felt very long. Like there's still 5 more minutes to go. What is the radius of the item in that range? The item range? My mouse is like here and cleanse works. If my mouse is here, cleanse doesn't work. So my mouse is here, cleanse works. My mouse is here, cleanse works. Here goes on thresh. But here cleanse doesn't work. Here cleanse no. So you have to aim like really aim to the right or below or to the left. But it's like that far. Like this is the radius. I have a feeling Redemption's not actually good on Thresh, so I probably shouldn't go Redemption. I should just use the extra slot for wards. Cause again, I need a button for my ward item. Wait, what is this button? Oh wait. Oh, never mind. That's my control ward. What's this button? Wait, hold on. What's this button? What's 10? What's 10? 10? Is that anything? 10. I mean, if 10 it was something important, I wasn't pressing it, so I have no idea. So guys, what was it? What am I doing? Why do I only have 2 active items? I like thought that I. Okay, that's quite uncomfortable for wards, maybe, but let's see. Yeah, all right. Well, we have 4 active items now instead of 2. I don't know why I only did 2. It's pretty uncomfortable for wards. I probably should make it something else. I should make that Redemption. Two more minutes. It is actually crazy that I have like an even better QSS for free on Draven. That is pretty insane. Like all I need is to see a Morgana bind is on the way. And then I press cleanse, and then if I get hit, then the bind doesn't hit. It might be better than Ice Vow, honestly. Like first item in some matchups. 1 more minute. Come on. Okay, bye. Thanks, guys. Yo, Raccoon, thank you. I gotta go. I'll be right back, though. I have to go to the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Not gonna lie, I got bored after like 2 minutes, but you have ADHD. How do you manage his trainings without going nuts? Adderall. Adderall and Adderall, discipline, and true interest and drive and alignment. Knowing why I'm doing it. Knowing why I'm doing it. And being excited by the vision of what it leads to in the future. All right. Let me message Cody. Now is the scheduled lunchtime. I should follow it. It's there for a reason. I'm not hungry. I'm like stimulated and I want to keep doing other stimulating things. But the actual point is that part of the reason why the lunchtime is baked into the schedule is that my mind needs rest from stimulation. And that's so that I can show up and focus tomorrow. So even though it's uncomfortable and even though I don't want to have lunch, and I am kind of hungry, but I also am like kind of nauseous, and that's probably part of the Adderall and the caffeine, but like I feel like I could very easily not eat, but it's baked into the schedule for a reason. My better judgment put it in the schedule, and now my impulses are saying to not do it. Enjoy your meal. Okay. Alright, Cody can't play until 2. So I should go eat probably and just try to destimulate. Oh god, I don't wanna. You know though, there's something that you can do. What are you going to eat? I don't know yet. There's all these pre-made meals in the fridge that are actually really good. They're not like frozen meals. They're shipped weekly, and they're like chef made. I don't know how much. I don't know if they're expensive or not. But my mom's renovating a kitchen, and so we don't have access to a stove. And I kind of talked her into trying these things because I've had a problem with not eating enough. Like I'll eat 1,000 calories in a day, and I'll do that for a week until I'm like really desperate. And so the idea is that the meals, so trying something that was affordable with the meals would be helpful. We tried something else that didn't really work, but this one's really good. What's it called? It's called, I could get back to you. It's really good though. So I don't know, it might be chicken, it might be lasagna, it might be something else. It kind of sounds good. But anyways, what I was going to say, guys, is that there's a switch you can flip in your mind where right now I don't want to get up. I don't want to go eat. I don't feel like it. But there's a switch in your mind that you can flip where you just lock in. And you're no longer a person that gives in to impulses. I don't know how to... I don't know. And I don't know if genuinely, I don't know if I only have access to it because it might be Factor. It might be Factor, yeah. But I don't know if I only have access to this because I'm taking my ADHD medication and it's giving me access to my prefrontal cortex. Maybe that's what I'm doing. But it's almost like a focus. where I can just lock into being present in the moment and the world goes quiet. And once I'm present in the moment, my impulses no longer have control over me. So I wrote down in another thing that's important is that sometimes it's important to follow how you feel, but sometimes it's important not to follow how you feel. Like this would be an instance of probably if I followed how I felt. Following how I feel in regards to practice, that's wonderful. Because I'm creating a practice which is both helpful and sustainable. No, the impulse to not eat. The impulse to stay here and to not get up and not eat. That's what I'm saying. But if I followed that, then it would be bad. It wouldn't be good. So switching between that sometimes it's good to act based off of how you feel and sometimes it's not. And this is an instance where it would not be good, I don't think. So yeah, you're ignoring those impulses. Like you get tired enough of losing yourself. That's one thing. That might have been the catalyst of me discovering this. But no, it's I don't know, I can just lock in. It's a way it's easy to romanticize it sometimes. I don't know. I don't know about what romanticize what? Oh, following your impulses? It is, yeah. It's also easy to romanticize not following your impulses, but either way, too much of, I think. Anyways, though, yeah, it's like I focus on something in my mind, and things go quiet. And all right, let's do it. I think also convincing your nervous system that your impulses are not. Like, I think part of what's hard is that your body feels like it needs to follow the impulses, almost like in order to survive. And the idea of not following the impulses almost gives you fight or flight, and then the way that you cope with fight or flight is by distracting yourself and giving into impulses. But if you can convince your nervous system that following your impulses is not the safest thing to do, well, maybe you shouldn't do it that way, but you should convince your nervous system that it's safe to not follow your impulses, and then your nervous system calms down, and then you no longer want to cope. True, Hanson, true. I don't say the R word because I'm scared, but true. It is. I mean, in terms of yeah, I know what you mean, and true. You kind of wish you had that, like your impulse control stop being effort and being just your identity. So it's difficult if you have ADHD and you're not medicated. It's because I mean, do we really know what ADHD is? I don't know if we really know, but a good guess that seems to be like supported is that literally the part of your brain that literally resists your impulse, you can basically think of it like, all right, this isn't true, but you can basically think of it like not enough blood gets to that part of your brain, and it just isn't working. That's not true. If that were true, then that part of your brain would die. So, but the more accurate thing is there's not enough dopamine and norepinephrine in that part of your brain, and so the electrical impulses that reach that part of the brain aren't conducted properly, and they diffuse really quick before anything productive happens. And that's possibly why stimulant medication helps with ADHD, because it puts more dopamine and norepinephrine in that part of the brain, so the electrical impulses conduct more efficiently. I'm also on the spectrum, so there's more noises to filter. Okay. I'm not as familiar about that. I'm familiar in a little bit, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but honestly, the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. I'm not sure if I'm on the spectrum or if I'm really ADHD. Some of my therapists, I brought up autism, they don't think I'm autistic. I didn't pass an autism test. I think I'm just like, potentially it's like really, really ADHD that it can manifest sometimes as me acting autistic in certain situations, maybe because I'm so excited or because I get so obsessed that I ignore things. But I do also, typically, the medication reduces sometimes all the noise, but all my life I had a lot of noise. But what I will say is about stop being effortful and just being your identity, you can still do that with your identity. The identity part of your brain is still basically the most powerful part of your brain. There's a saying, or there was a wise person who said this, and that's that if you're someone who's quit smoking, but you still identify as a smoker, if someone were to ask you, hey, do you want a cigarette at a party? If you still identify as a smoker, but you've quit smoking months ago, you might say, what's the brand? What's the brand? No thanks, no. But if you've quit and you identify as, I don't smoke anymore, but I'm not a person who smokes. That's not who I am anymore. Then when someone asks you, you can just already tell, like it clicked in my own mind just now. Like literally just feeling it. Like I just felt the difference already. It's like if someone were to ask you at a party, hey, do you want a cigarette? You wouldn't ask what brand it is. You just say no. You just say no thanks. And so your identity filters the thoughts you have. It filters the things your mind prioritizes to think. It filters the information that you take in it filters what your mind prioritizes out of what your ears hear and what your eyes see. And what your analytical mind, the patterns put together. Alright, I'm out. Gonna pass out. Great stream as always. Alright, I'll see you later, Raccoon. Happy Tuesday. Happy September 1st. Thanks, man. Thanks, Elevator has guide rail. Thank you. Stone Cold, like Agent 47. Who, me? On that topic, not a single cough in a long time. Glad to see you recovered. Hold on. True. It is that I recovered, but also there's an outlet right above here, and they cut open the hole for the outlet too big for a normal outlet cover. And I noticed it a long time ago, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, it looks bad. There's insulation in all these walls, rock wool insulation, which is mineral wool, so it's irritating, but it's not like going to cause permanent damage. But it occurred to me months later, like literally like a month ago, not even a month, maybe weeks ago, that, oh, maybe some insulation is somehow seeping through that little hole and coming in. So after thinking about that for a while, I finally decided to get a bigger cover that would cover the whole hole, the whole gap, everything. And when I pulled off the old cover and I looked in the hole with light, there was rock wool insulation directly above the hole. Like there was this much gap between the air of the room and insulation. So that was just coming down this entire time. And the irony is that by using the ventilation system to try to make it better, I was probably creating a pressure difference in airflow, which was pulling more out, disrupting more fibers. So, but that's why I think it's better. That, and I have an air purifier here now. I had the air purifier for a while, and it didn't fix the cough. But the combination of the two now, if I don't have it on, the air doesn't feel great. But the combination of both seems to fix it. Alright, now it's just like a tick, so don't worry about it. It's a little bit of a tickle and it's a tick, but it'll go away. Going for lunch. Be back in 30 minutes is kind of long. I don't want to say 30, like 20 minutes. 11:40 a.m. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna play art because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just talk. Now you feel bad? Don't feel bad at all. You look like the guy from Payphone by Maroon 5, Adam Levine. That's a great compliment. I'll take that. Adam Levine is awesome. Also, I love that song. Alright, hold on. I'm going to lock in. Here's another piece of advice, guys. If you can't get the motivation to do something, like for example, I'm having a hard time getting the motivation to go get the food. Your brain isn't releasing enough dopamine to be convinced that it's worth the effort. Like for example, and that calculation changes depending on how much energy you have. So for example, I'm very fatigued and tired because I didn't sleep well and just probably taken Adderall yesterday. I'm very fatigued and tired, and so now my body requires more dopamine to be motivated to do something. However, do I have enough dopamine in my system to stand up? I do. Yeah, I leave it at 30. All right, I'll leave it at 30. I just feel like 30 is so long to expect people to wait, but do I have enough dopamine in my system to stand up? I do. I have enough motivation to stand up. And do I have enough motivation to put one foot over here? I do. And I mean it, guys. And every time you successfully do one of these things, you actually get a dopamine hit. And you get more dopamine because you did what you set your mind to. I swear it's true. I swear it's true. You can try it. Do I have enough motivation to unplug my charger so it's not in my way? Yes. Do I have enough motivation to put my foot in front over here? Yes. Do I have enough motivation to plug my foot over here? Do I have enough motivation to plug my charger in? Do I have enough motivation to put my other foot here? So now I'm going to leave, but I'm following that. You see what I'm saying? And then you just focus on the next step, literally. And like I used to do that. Sometimes I would do that for making my bed. I really don't want to make my bed, but can I at least walk on the other side of my bed? Yeah, I can do that. Can I at least pull up the sheet on one corner? Yeah, I can do that. 30 streamer says workers' rights. You can't play right now, can you? By the way, that's Cody's, guys. You said you're not gonna be here until closer to 2. Do you consume caffeine in injunction to your meds? Yeah, I do. Not always. Sometimes I avoid it, but and it has its effects. But lately, yeah, I actually really like it. Shockingly, it's not giving me anxiety today. Sometimes it really amps me up and it makes me feel really intense. But today, I think it's because I'm already so tired and my body's already so calm that it's not making me over wired. All right. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna focus on one foot in front of the other. That's real advice, by the way. Real advice. And it really helps with ADHD too, because that ADHD is a lot of it's a problem with a lack of motivation. And it's not your fault. It's literally a lack of dopamine in your motivational area. It's not your fault. This is just one thing that could help if you're interested. So anyways, I'm gonna go eat. But look at what I'm doing. I was sitting there like, I don't want to get up. And then now all of a sudden I have my hand on the doorknob. I'm about to leave because I raised my dopamine and because I'm just taking one little step at a time. Just focusing on one little step. Each time, focusing, convincing your body, like, you're asking your body, do I have enough motivation to put one foot in front of this one? I do? All right. And then your body literally allows you, it gives you the motivation to do it. And so you just keep doing that with each step until it's done. And then you feel great, literally, because you've given yourself a ton of dopamine, because your body just shoots you with dopamine with every little accomplishment you have. Hopped on to listen to stream for a couple minutes while I'm leaving now to get lunch. But yeah, I'll be back, guys, in 30. So, great. Now he's convinced me to get a second dinner. Brett. I'll see you guys. I had fun talking. So I'll see you guys in 30. Something like that. Ooh, let me get my water. Alright, bye guys. See you in 30. Alright, I'm back. I had like chicken pasta. Chicken and pasta. It was good. Actually good. Alright. It's getting kind of warm in here, which is kind of nice, but also could get too warm. So I was thinking, if you guys are interested, I could show you the plan over the next 6 months, week to week. It's long. So, only if you guys are interested, pull it up as like a PDF, just so you guys get an idea. Or I mean, you could look at it week to week, literally, but an idea of what the schedule is. Idea of how it's going to progress. And I tried to be reasonable with the developments. I tried to be reasonable. Hey, could you bring together all the exercises for the next 6 months and the way they will develop week to week and put them in a PDF, please? Ooh, almost saw the number of viewers, and that always makes me nervous. So I think I saw something. I don't know what it was, but it still affects me. Even if I don't see the exact number, but I see it in my peripheral, it still affects me. Yeah, hold on, I'm pulling it up. Probably could use an electrolyte drink. Magnesium, that could be what I'm feeling. Sometimes I feel like when I take my it's not just my Adderall, it's actually my Wellbutrin too, because Wellbutrin is also stimulating, but it feels like a certain like my body's out of oil, like it's like there's like a grinding feeling inside my chest that makes me short of breath, and it's not a heart attack or anything, believe me. I've had my heart tested multiple times because I was paranoid, but it seems to either get better with hydration, like hydration mix, like it has electrolytes, and it could also be magnesium. Lol. No, I'm late, but made you laugh? What made you laugh? You got a water jug? Yeah, I do. Yeah, let me see if I can fix that here. Indeed, it is not connected for some reason. I had to reauthorize the program. Should be authorized now. Okay, it's connected now. So Twitch chat should be popping up now. New Twitch chats. What made you laugh, Zio or Fix? I'm getting ChatGPT to put together a PDF from my everything that I wrote, so we can easily look at it. Honestly, it's not even that disorganized. I honestly could just probably scroll up in the chat and find it. You having workers' rights? That joke? Oh, you look like the guy from Payphone by Maroon 5. Got you. I also see it. That's funny. Incredible compliment, by the way. Okay, ChatGPT is taking a long time to make the PDF, so I'm just going to try scrolling up in the chat until I find it, and then I can show you guys. Oh, never mind, it made it. Okay, let's see if it got it right this time. I hope I want it to be giving the practice verbatim. Oh, it did. I think it is verbatim. No, it's not verbatim, but it's close. It's the right idea. From some of it's verbatim and some of it is it simplifying for whatever reason. I don't know why I did that, but I can go into more detail. So I'm going to show you guys like the week-to-week progression of maybe some of the exercises just so you get an idea of the progression. What are your notes about? My notebook, I have two things on it. The first thing is the schedule with a checklist, and and it's broken down into like literally like 15 minutes. And the reason for this is this means that I don't have to remember anything, so it frees up mental space. And the other thing is that I'm setting up in my mind and in the moment I'm respecting the list and referring to it constantly. I refer to it even if I already know what to do. And yeah, and that does something for me, respecting it. But yeah, it's a big deal to not have to remember it. It frees up a lot of mental space. Calc 2 is hell for you? I'm actually having fun with it. It took me a while, but I'm having fun with it. It's not a class, it's my own study, independently. But when I first took calculus, I hated it. Or I didn't hate it, but I couldn't pay attention. And then it has some notes from the stream, like if somebody has a suggestion that I want to return to and think about later, I have it written down at the bottom. Yeah, but I'm about to show you guys what is rasterbation? Why do I have a PDF in my downloads called rasterbation? Do I need it? Okay, I want to know what this is. But I don't want it to pop up. What is rasterbation? Oh. I was printing a poster of Eminem to hang. It's from like the movie, and it's just breaking it up into a bunch of different pieces so that I could print them all and put them all together to make a big poster. Why did the website name it Rasturbation? My professor wasn't the best at teaching me. Yeah, I'm enjoying self-study. I don't think that it's effective for me. That being in a classroom, being taught is effective. It's either too slow or it's too fast. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time because, yeah, it's too slow and then it's too fast, and then it's too slow and then it's too fast, and it's too. In reality, I think you could learn something in a third of the time reasonably, with self-study. If it's proper self-study, or maybe with a tutor, with a tutor. But for me, ChatGPT works as a good tutor. It's a tutor that's always available and is always enthusiastic and receptive and won't judge you. So, if you guys are here and you want to see the, I'm gonna try to not cough. Peace and books are a great U.S. export. What are those? Are those books for teaching yourself? Because that would be cool. Also, the cough could be because I turned off the purifier for a long time. Let's turn it back on. I'm gonna try to not cough though, for me and for you guys. My phone's gonna die anyways, but plus we don't need the hand camera anymore, so I'm gonna turn off the hand cam. And so I'm gonna turn off the vertical YouTube stream because the cameras are gonna be they're gonna be messed up. So if you guys want to hang out still, which I would love if you did, but it's up to you. There is another stream on YouTube that is horizontal, just like on Twitch. So, if you're on the vertical stream and you'd like to stick around, then I'll see you there. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the vertical stream because it's so messed up. I might as well. I think. I mean, actually, yeah, I'd prefer that. So I'll let it catch up and then I'll go ahead and do that. Alright. Ignore all this. ChatGPT just like made this up to make it look nice. Ignore all this. But the drills themselves. This is the wrong one. This is the one that I told it to make. I told it to make one and it was bad. I told it to make one and it was like vague. When I gave it, like, I explicitly wrote down every single week to week on like the exercise on every single exercise. So but I was more explicit now that I wanted it to be verbatim almost. This is when my Wellbutrin gets a bit intense after 4 or 5 hours, and then also the Adderall's wearing off. So I'm about to go through a bit of an intense phase of the day for the next hour or two, and then I'll calm down again. But it's not the best feeling, but I'm okay. I'm totally fine. I'm just letting you guys know, in case you're curious. I don't know if that's something I should keep to myself or not. All right. But don't buy them. Go to your library and rent them. Personal books. I learned chemistry basics from them. The lecture was ass in the scriptum. Alright. You'll be lurking? Alright, I'll see you, man. I'm gonna write it down. Alright. Oh, don't cough. Don't cough. Thresh hooks on blue wards. Week 1 is what we're doing. 4 blue wards, look at Thresh's screen, move the mouse slowly and deliberately to each ward and hook it. Accuracy first. That's what we're doing right now, week 1. Week 2, same 4 wards. By the way, ChatGPT didn't come up with these. I came up with these week to week, every single week. Week 2, same 4 wards, still looking. Begin letting the mouse move faster when accuracy remains clean. Literally, the only difference between week 1 and week 2 is I let myself maybe go faster if I can maintain accuracy. Week 3, same 4 wards, reduce unnecessary corrections and make the hand movement more direct. Keep the target familiar order. I think it paraphrases. I don't even know, but consider week 3 a repetition of week 2. Week 4, same 4 wards, mix order and start cursor pointing. Mix order and starting cursor position while looking. So, also, it added this. I wish it would do this. But, yeah, so I think what basically this is my mouse is going to start at different positions when I go to the ward. So it's not going to be from one ward to the next, to the next, to the next. It's going to be one ward starting here, go to that ward. Starting here, go to this ward. Starting here, go to this ward. Starting here, go to this ward. Week 5, same 4 wards. Now look at Draven's screen instead of Thresh. So now I'm beginning to, after 4 weeks, now I'm beginning to aim at the wards while looking at Draven's screen. Week 6, same 4 wards without looking at Thresh. So now it's the same thing as week 5, but I'm allowing myself to increase accuracy. Or sorry, increase speed. So I'm starting really slow, but now I'm increasing speed. Week 7, no looking hooks on the wards with randomized target order and curse start. So now I'm trying to hook the wards while moving my mouse randomly while not looking. So I'm looking at Thresh, or sorry, I'm looking at Draven's screen. I move my mouse randomly and then I get to the ward without looking. That's week 7. Week 8, consolidate the 4 look again, use brief visual calibrations when needed. So this one's just a repetition of week 7. Week 9, hook the 4 wards without looking at Thresh while moving Draven from point A to point B. So I'll place 2 wards, 2 blue wards, and I'll, with my right hand on the other end, or no, it'll be close. With my right hand, I will be moving Thresh or Draven from point A to point B, and then with my left hand, while looking at Draven's screen, I'll be hooking the 4 wards. Week 10, maintain continuous movement through the hook rep. So now, repetition of week 9. Week 11, vary Draven's AB positioning while preserving hook accuracy, no looks. It paraphrased, and I wish it wouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure what this is I'm adding different positions. Different positions of Draven going left and right, up and down. Week 12, randomize hook target and Draven movement start endpoints. Keep Thresh. I might be making stuff up. I could just go into the chat and find verbatim, but consider this a repetition of week 11. What does randomize mean? I definitely didn't write randomize because I'm not going to be using like a number calculator or something. So consider it a week. If it must be because I said specifically the progression of week to week, and maybe 2 weeks are repeating each other, so it's making up some progression. But I'll let you guys know. So by the way, so it starts off really slow. Like week to week, it looks like the growth is really slow, but look at where we're at already by the end of month 3. Month 4, week 13, no look hook reps while Draven's moving A to B and catching axes. So there's going to be along A to B, there's going to be target dummies, and I'll be catching axes while looking at Draven's screen and hooking the wards with Thresh. You set a randomizer for that? I might use it, but I might not, because I'm trying to reduce the amount of variables that I'm juggling. And I'm trying to reduce things that will distract me distract my attention. So if I need randomizer, I'll use it, but I'm not sure I need it for this. Again, ChatGPT made this up. Week 14, maintain axe catching continuously while executing the hook. So this is a repetition of week 13. Week 15, vary axe positions, Draven path, while keeping the hook target random. This might be a repetition of week 14. I think, no, what I'm saying is now there's multiple paths Draven's going to take. So I'm catching axes along a more complex path while looking not at Thresh's screen. I'm still looking at I'm still looking at Draven's screen, so I can't see my mouse, and I'm hooking the wards. Week 16, repetition of week 15. Week 17, no look hooks while catching axes and moving Draven to point A, point B with added blindfold, no look. Okay, so now we're adding a blindfold. So now I'm not looking at Draven's screen or Thresh's screen. So after 16 weeks of building deliberate, slow muscle memory, 16 weeks of daily, deliberate, slow muscle memory, we're now introducing, doing these exercises, catching axes, moving Draven from a simple A to B point, the one I've been doing before, not the complex one, but the initial one. Catching axes while moving Draven from the simple AB point while throwing the hooks and landing them on the wards while blindfolded. Week 18. Increase the duration of clean dual task reps for visually recalibrate. Consider week 18 a repetition of week 17. Some things are going to be so hard that it's going to take multiple weeks to lock in. That's totally fair and reasonable. Week 19, randomize ward target, Draven start endpoints, and axe patterns. It should have just been verbatim. Consider week 19 a repetition of week 18, except Draven now has a little bit of a more complex path. Week 20, repetition of week 19. Week 21, no look hooks while moving Draven through one specific jungle route. So now Draven is walking through the jungle. I'm looking at Thresh. Alright, no, I'm not looking at all. Never mind. I'm not even looking at Thresh with Draven's screen. I'm not looking at all, like I'm blindfolded, basically. I'm not blindfolded, though. But I'm going to be watching Draven, because Draven's going to be walking through a specific path through the jungle while I'm not looking at Thresh screen and I'm hooking the wards on Thresh. Because I've already done that. I've done that blindfolded for 4 weeks. So this isn't a stretch. I've literally done that blindfolded every single day for 4 weeks. After all of this other slow, deliberate practice. So it's not a huge stretch. It's not a stretch at all, in my mind. It's not a stretch at all. Week 18, repetition of week 17. Week 19, a more complex path through the jungle. Wait. Sorry. Week 22. I went back for a second. Week 22, keep Draven on the route continuously while selecting hook targets. Okay, it's a repetition of week 21. Week 23, varying Draven's route, starting points, and hook target order. It's a repetition of week 22. With maybe what I was saying here is that my mouse starts in a random position on Thresh. Week 24, random starts. Yeah, okay, here we go. Now my mouse is in random positions. Specific route movement, no hook selection, and minimal. Okay. Repetition of week 23. So the 3 weeks after week 21 are basically, repetitions of week 21. Week 22, week 23, week 24 is repetition of week 21. Is that all of them? Is week 24? That is 6 months. All right, but this is gonna go on for 12 months, so I haven't gotten to the 12 months. I'm surprised because I thought I already wrote this down, but I must have not. I must have just been thinking it. After this, it's going to be moving Draven through the jungle without looking, and so basically moving Draven through the jungle blindfolded while landing hooks on Thresh blindfolded. That jungle path. Then at some point it's going to be catching axes while moving through the jungle, that jungle path, landing hooks with Thresh without looking on the wards. And then it's going to be blindfolded, moving through the jungle with my right hand on Draven while hitting the wards with the hooks with my left hand on Thresh. And then eventually what it's going to be is Draven's moving more, doing more complex tasks, more axes, faster attack speed. And then I'm going to add more ward points at some point. So at some point, maybe month 8, maybe month 7, maybe month 9, I'll have to work through week to week. See what seems reasonable. At some point, there's no longer going to be 4 wards that I can hit. Now there's going to be 8. So now there's no longer am I just practicing moving my mouse up, down, left, right. Now I'm practicing moving my mouse diagonal in each direction. And then eventually there's going to be an additional 4. Then to be 12, and then there's going to be 16. And then that might be the limit. So that was that. And then we could continue. We could continue, but that just gives you an idea of what the progression is. Each one of the, I could probably post this in Discord if you guys are interested. Each one of these has progression like that. And some of the skills cross with each other. Every repetition I have on one exercise that makes me get more familiar with the movement of my mouse, it's going to help the other exercises. So every exercise that I'm doing is helping the other exercises as well. And there likely will be more exercises added daily, like flash flay practice, flash flay while catching axes practice, flash flay while catching axes blindfolded practice, flash flay while chasing someone while catching axes while blindfolded, and doing that in a custom game with a viewer. All right, I'm gonna end the YouTube short stream, and like if you guys are just tuning in, I'm ending it because the camera's all messed up because I turned off my hand camera because it's gonna die and we don't need it right now. But there's another stream on YouTube that is the full screen. So if you want to keep up, want to stay around, go ahead and head there, or it's there if you want it. So anyways, I'll see you guys.